Hello, everybody. We're back.
Hello, Miracle Mom and Michael.
Miracle Mom and Michael. Oh, my backdrop is falling off here. All right, sorry. Um.
You haven't hit the stop button, have you?
Oh yeah. Let me check. Make sure I'm actually recording this. Yeah. I moved my cursor away from the stop button so that I won't accidentally cut off the recording like I did yesterday. All right. So, Mom. A couple of days ago, I don't know how long ago. A couple of days ago, I forwarded you an email, a link to something. Care to expound?
Oh, you're talking about the documentary that the Epic Times posted
Yeah.
about the Wuhan.
Investigating the source of the Wuhan
Yeah,
virus or the coronavirus.
yeah, you sent that to me, and of course I watched it. It's about an hour long, but it's very much worth watching. And now, just in the past couple of days, it's been all over. Everybody, everybody on my Facebook page is reposting it and sharing it. And
Apparently,
but
it's gotten like 70 million views from all different
oh,
It went viral. Like,
is that right? Yeah,
yeah,
right away. Right away it went viral. Because the reason it went viral is there's a lot of factual documentation that's presented that has not been released to the public. Certainly not through the mainstream media. And I found it to be totally credible. I know that you pointed out that the only fault that you found with it was that there was no dissenting view throughout it. And then I said to myself, well, you know what? Why even do that? Why give a dissenting view? We need the truth. We need the facts. And if it's 100% factual, good. That's what I said to myself. Because the dissent that's coming out is to try to deny that these facts are true. That's all that is. Anything they present in terms of dissenting is based in lies. That's what we're getting in the mass media. And
right.
the same is true with this documentary. You
Well,
can't. Go ahead.
I want to get into a little bit of the details of the documentary, but before that, I want to just give a few of my comments about it. And number one, because I work in that field, I work in the entertainment industry, and I've worked on documentaries, reality TV shows, news programming, and scripted television and movies, etc. And most documentaries take 2 years. A year and a half is like short. It's like a short production schedule for a documentary. Most documentaries take more than 2 years, 3 years. Some of them take 10 years to get all the data. Because documentaries, the ones that are worth their salt, they do in-depth dives into controversial subject matter, and they try to cover all the bases. And so, one thing that I'm impressed about with this documentary is is pretty high quality, and they only did it in a couple of months. And so that also explains or somewhat excuses them not really covering all the dissenting points of view. There were several experts, but most of them were from the affirmative or supporting the point of view of the documentary, and they had zero contradictory or dissenting points of view. But as I've been thinking about that, well, the dissenting point of view is pretty much what we've been hearing from the mass media for a couple of months now. Like, everybody's
Right.
pretty much been inundated with the notion that this virus sprung into existence out of a wet market where the Chinese people were purchasing and consuming exotic animal meats. And one interesting notion, I don't know that it's covered in this documentary, but one of the things that I heard recently that is now supported by this documentary is one thing that we've all heard from early on is that it was transferred from bats to human. Bats are mammals. Bats tend to have a lot of viruses. They're very resilient, and they can handle the viruses and not die. And and because they're mammals, there's, I guess, a similarity in the genetic makeup, and that's how it's more easily transferred from bats to humans. And so that's pretty much been the consensus, and is still the consensus, that this was transmitted originally from bats. Well, it turns out that particular wet market in Wuhan doesn't sell bats. So that undermines that entire narrative. In fact,
not the type of bat that China was claiming.
But no bats at all, as a matter of fact. That wet mark doesn't even sell bat meat. And another thing that's come to light, or going back and tracing the chronology of these events, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, asserted that the notion that this virus came from a lab has been debunked. Like, they said that early on, that there's no way it's confirmed. We all know it happened naturally in a wet market through the transfer of meats. That's our National Institute of Health, our own government, essentially before the facts are all out, shutting down a whole potential train or investigative pursuit. So, talk about the documentary.
Oh, well, I noticed, when you sent me that video, I don't know, what was it, a week ago or so?
Within a week, yeah.
Yeah, within a week. When I looked at it, I said to myself, jokingly, this video, Trump needs to show this video at one of his briefings. That's what I said. And he needs to stop talking and just show this documentary to all them lying reporters sitting there. Anyway, now it's been a few days, and now I watch Fox News unashamedly, and now it was reported on Fox News. They show the documentary. They show that picture of it that you sent to me. Anyway, and now they're starting to talk about it. Now it's been looked at by the media, and now the parts of it that are true, all of it's true, but they're just now letting people know, yep, this is true, yep, that's true, yep, that's true. So it's finally being leaked out the way it should be.
Not just leaked, but I think it was either last night or today, the Associated Press basically repeated that it is now likely that the virus originated in that lab. It's like, that's a total 180. It's now likely. It's more likely.
And I believe it has to do with the documentary. They can't dispute the facts.
The guys did their homework.
And Facebook is censoring it now.
Tell me.
Well, all of my friends on Facebook are, reposting it and sharing it, and Facebook is blacking it out. Every time someone posts it, they black it out. They don't want the information out. And it's happening again today. There are still friends who are reposting it, and Facebook blacks them out. Refuses to allow it to be viewed. It's still happening.
Why would that be?
Well, why would that be? I just can't imagine.
Well, from my point of view, also having, working in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of money that comes from China in the business. I have a very good friend who does big movies, and he told me, all right, this was about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. I was in his Beverly Hills office, and he was showing me all the projects they're working on. And he said this to me. This is a guy.
He's a producer?
Yeah, a film producer. And he said to me, China is going to make a movie this year that will make $1 billion in China alone. So this is, about a year and a half ago, he's saying that. He said, Hollywood is now where Britain was when Hollywood came into the entertainment industry used to be centered in the UK, in Great Britain, and then Hollywood took off, in the beginning of the previous century, and Hollywood became the biggest thing, and that's where everybody wants to be. And then China started building their own entertainment industry and started spending money in Hollywood as well. And because with 1 point whatever billion people in China alone, they make a ton of money just by creating content for their own people, and then they'll and Hollywood will bend the knee to whatever that money from China tells them.
Sure.
You can't make a movie about this, you can't mention that, you can't. There's these criterion, like don't include these certain things in your movies, or you'll be banned in China, and which will be half of your market. Most of half of the money you make you won't be able to make it because China's this huge market, and so Hollywood has been bending the knee, and it's not just
Hollywood wants the money,
right? It's all they're chasing the dollar, but it's not just movies and television, it's the news media. There's a whole bunch of Chinese money propping up
absolutely,
a bunch of propaganda, and that's in the tech realm as well. So at the risk of getting this video banned, Facebook is doing the bidding of the communist regime by banning the truth.
Exactly. It's exactly what it's all about. There's that scripture. We all know it. The love of money is the root of all evil. Right.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because a lot of people totally misquote that. A lot of people,
I know.
They leave off.
They just say money is
right.
the root of all evil.
Right.
Money's nothing. That paper money's nothing. It's the love of it. It's a god.
It's greed. It's greed, right? One of the 7 deadly sins is greed. It's not money itself. It's when money. No. It's when money rules over you and becomes your god.
Right.
All right. Well. So, you know what? I'm going to wrap it up here, and tomorrow, in tomorrow's episode of Global Chernobyl, we'll get back to this documentary. There's something I want to talk about, the DNA or the genetic structure, something that they point out that I thought was fascinating. So we'll wrap this up here. Say bye, Mom.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for watching. And remember, every time you do, you witness a miracle. Mom was supposed to die in December of 2019. Now, every breath she takes is a gift from God. If this video is encouraging to you, share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button right here. Right here somewhere. Right in here. This button. This thing. It's like right here.